Hello and welcome to a fresh episode of Research Plus Practice. Shashwat and I would like to wish all our viewers a very happy Holi. We wish that you have a wonderful time this Holi. Now friends, over the last few weeks, there are two things that have been occupying our headspace in India. One of course is the unfortunate increase in COVID cases. And we do hope that like all of us got our act together last year and galvanized our actions in a responsible manner to defeat this menace over the last year. We do hope that we again get our acts together in a responsible manner and come out of this menace together with flying colors. The second thing that has been occupying our headspace is of course the elections. So several states in India are undergoing election, and Shashwat and I thought what better thing to discuss about what Indian elections tell you about managing businesses, or what management principles we can derive, or what management principles get reinforced through our experience of looking at elections in India. So here are three key takeaways that you might be aware of, but something which the elections in India reinforce about running successful businesses. So takeaway number one: customer needs and segmentation. Now think about it. You would have heard about segmentation several times. Almost any book, any good marketing professor or a practitioner will talk about segmenting a market. Now, in this case, when you're looking at the international map, maybe you might like to segment India, or you might like to segment various geographies on basis of their nationhood. When we are talking of India, now we are looking at states like Assam, we are looking at states like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry. These are places which have their own dynamics. And the communication and the thoughts and the strategies that you put for one state will differ dramatically for another state. Perhaps that is in essence the beauty of democracy, and in essence the beauty of Indian democracy. So across states, the conversation, the issues changed remarkably. So pick up any manifesto that you want of any of these parties, what they have been speaking about. Pick up what parties are speaking in Bengal, pick up what parties are speaking in Tamil Nadu, and you'll realize that there is a whole lot of difference in what parties are talking about, or what they are offering to people in those states. Now, all these states have their own dynamics, and perhaps one big lesson for any person who's introducing products in markets, who's in marketing field, or even if you're a decision maker, please relate to the fact that segmentation is a powerful tool. If you are going into different markets and offering the same product with the same language, you should really wonder if you are doing justice. So look at the nuances of different markets and ensure that you understand the dynamics to segment those territories well. In fact, if you are watching the news, you'll even realize that forget about states having their own agenda. If you hear about Assam, you'll hear these words of North Assam and South Assam. If you're talking about Bengal, there are discussions about places near the international boundaries, places that are influenced by the upper hills, places that are near the delta region. So even the entire states get segmented. So for any successful political party, the message the political parties who do good in elections is who understand and are able to segment the geographies, the people in the most ideal way. And like it or not, that is democracy. If you are able to get 50%, or if most of the people who vote believe in you, or if you are able to segment and communicate your thoughts, your ideas to the larger section of people, you win the election. So segmentation is critical. That is something what Indian elections are telling us, and that is something what we speak a lot about in management. Takeaway 2. Now, we talk about collaborations, and I have always wondered. In fact, there are so many articles written about collaboration between competitors. And mostly, and whether it's political domain or business domain, collaboration amongst competition never really comes around unless there is really a challenge or unless there is really a threat. And look at the elections that we are witnessing now. If you're looking at Kerala election, Congress party might be up against the left. Both are fighting for power in the state of Kerala. However, both of them are together coming as partners to fight other parties in Bengal. So at the same time you are fighting your competition in one state, and in the other state you are partnering them. Now, how is it possible? Well, the simple basis is again segmentation. Look at the dynamics of these two states. Maybe in Bengal, the visions, the thoughts, the plans align well for both these parties compared to something in Kerala. But please note a big lesson that political parties and the experiences of elections in India tell us that collaboration is critical, and collaborating with competition is also a viable strategy. Now, this part is perhaps very less explored amongst people in the industry. We very rarely partner or ally with the competition until we are cornered or we don't have an option. But perhaps it's a good idea to look at whether we can leverage complementary assets, we can leverage complementary skills even during good times. So that for me is takeaway 2, collaborating with competitions. And takeaway 3, and the third takeaway is perhaps I have never found something more interesting than communication during elections. And I'm very sure you'll agree with me, parties that tend to do well in elections are those parties which have clear, consistent communication. And please note, when I'm speaking about parties, I'm not necessarily saying communication to the external audience, to the people of the state. I'm even talking about communication within the parties or within the entire structure of your organization. Some parties do it very well. If you look at parties like BJP, they have a very good communication setup, whether you like it or not. And there is a big learning for us on the business side. So when we are looking for communications comes from clarity of thought, and only when you have clarity of thought can you have coherence and consistency in that communication. So when you are trying to run your businesses, do talk about marketing communication where you are looking at influencing or communicating to external clients and audience. But so also is very, very critical is that you communicate to your own people, so that the alignment of the organization, the values and alignment of the organizations towards the right strategic purpose can only arrive if communication happens at each level. And Indian elections are a wonderful example. Whenever a party has been able to get its communication right, and I mean internal communication as well, those parties have really succeeded. And that's a big takeaway for us in the industry or the business side of the world. So friends, this is 3 very simple learnings that I thought I'll put it across to you. I'm very sure that many of you would have figured it out on your own. But hey, this is such an interesting topic. Look at politics, people talk of political management, and look at your own businesses. If you're a decision maker, understanding the need of customers, segmentation is a critical thing. All political parties need to do it well to survive and excel. Collaborating with competition. Look at how parties are able to do. Why are we not able to do it in the industrial side? And third, communication. The political parties in India have demonstrated that communication not only external but internal matters a lot. And perhaps this is a leap that we in industry can pick up. We do a good job of external communication to our clients, to our customers. even internal communications need to be as strong. There are definitely companies that do a very good job of that, and I wish that many more will join this bandwagon. So I hope you enjoyed this short video on 3 key takeaways from Indian elections for business decision makers. So until then, goodbye and good luck. Have a wonderful time this Holi.